I'd like to give you 3 quick thoughts on how to help your bunker play become a little easier. 1, when you set up in the trap, set up with a wide base. Let your stance be wide and set up pretty square to your target line. The other thought is, I want you to make sure you maintain a left tilt. A lot of players I see, they're trying to get it in the air by tilting backwards. What that does is it causes them to bottom out way too soon and really end up hitting up at the ball. The third thing is, be okay with letting the club head release out in front of the grip at impact. What that does is it adds loft and it also adds bounce. Let's show you what that looks like. Hope those help you.
In my life, I was the best sand player in the world. How you approach the ball is very important in a trap. You should always approach your ball. You go straight at it, then cut over there and approach it from a 45-degree angle. I keep all my weight on my left foot. That was a very tough shot.
Weight back, stay back. I think that's just where my setup and golf swing are now. If I'd hit this shot 4 years ago, you know, I would have been up here like this, and again, going back behind it. Here, I'm already set up behind the ball, as I am with a tee shot or a 7-iron out of the fairway. So I'm going to set up with most of my weight, my head behind the ball, to where all I have to really do is turn and turn over my right side.
Punch shot with a very open stance. Very open. I'm aiming maybe, 60, 70 degrees off to the left there, and aim about an inch behind the ball, and no follow through. Just force the ball to run up the green toward the hole. It's an extremely simple shot to play, but no one really ever thinks to play it. It's an unusual shot. You don't get it on many American golf courses where you have that amount of space with a very low lip, but it works.
Here's a long bunker shot, like 50 yards. If you take a sand iron, you've got no chance. This is the hardest shot in golf. It's harder than a 2-iron off a downslip. I'm going to play a bunker shot with a 7-iron. Now, I don't know how close I can get it to the green, but let's see. Now, look at this high lip, okay? Now, most people say, well, you cannot get a 7-iron over that lip. Look at that. You see how you can reach the green? That shot I played there is the best shot I'm going to play today, without a question. Because the 50-yard, 60-yard bunker shot over other bunkers is, without a question, the single most difficult shot in golf.
I'm on an upslope, and I've got a wicked ridge up there, so there's no way I can fly up there. So, in fact, you take a 9-iron. Because you want a low trajectory, and you want it to run as well. And even worse, I've got a bad lie. So, this fella, you basically try to put the heel of the club, stick it into the sand. You've got really firm, wet sand here, so it's like playing well, I call it a thump. You want the heel of the club. So line it up straight, club face a little open, not much, and try and thump the sand. Oh, I played it. There you go. Go, 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 go. Holy smokes, I played it and won. That was all right. How about that? You've got to use your legs as pistons to get dampers, you know, to get yourself level. We all know you get the chest into the same position that you play all your bunker shots. You know, just don't walk in and then try and find. You should be able to walk in and find a level so you're balanced. The most important thing, you watch any pro when he misses a green, he walks up and he's feeling the shot already. You know, you watch them here, don't they? They're doing this, they're sensing it. This is the most important. Too many amateurs walk in, you know, take a club and...
Difficult shot indeed. Basically, when people get to see a buried live, they immediately freak out and they try to get it out basically by hitting down very, very hard. But if you're going to get this ball out, you hit down, but you then have to have your shot come up, much like you'd throw this dirt out of here. You want to be able to get the ball in the air. It's going to run. You wouldn't want to leave it short. I'm going to hit the ground probably somewhere about in here. When I'm practicing, a lot of times I'll make a mark
It's going to be a vertical swing, down, back up, and the ball's going to run out pretty close to the hole. But this is a very difficult shot, but the thing to remember is just don't go down real hard. You have to finish your swing up to get the ball. It is going to run, but at least you can control it a little bit.
I play this stuff as like soft sand. When I get soft sand, I open the blade more. And if I get firm sand, I won't put as much bounce on it. If I get soft sand, I'll put a little bit more bounce on it.
Another shot here, this one the ball's a little bit more above my feet. So I've kind of got it here. What that's going to have a tendency to do is hit the ball fat. So it's kind of weird, but Mark Brooks, another player on tour, taught me how to hit this shot. He said to kind of follow the terrain as you're going through. So it's almost like you're almost feeling like you're going to try to hook this shot, basically, is what I'm feeling. So I'm going to try to almost kind of work all the way through it. Same thing, everything else, and then just almost try to hook it a little bit. Just like that, and just kind of lifts it out a lot better than hitting. Instead of going down and hitting down through it and taking a lot more dirt than you normally would, you just kind of follow the terrain of the sand.
People laugh, again, when you tell them that the bunker shot is the easiest shot in the game. And I'll give you my thinking on it, is that if you make a good aggressive swing and you follow through and you stay down and you don't get too steep on it, you do all the right things, you can hit this shot a little fatter. When you hit the shot a little heavier, it won't carry as far, but it'll come out with less spin. So it will invariably release the distance that you want it to go. If you catch it a little thinner, it'll carry further, but it'll have more spin on it. So if you have the right weight of swing or the right length of swing, the ball is probably going to end up going much the same distance, whether you hit 3 inches behind it or whether you hit an inch behind it. So
you want three things. Wider stance than normal, because that stops you swaying, okay? That's number one. Number two, set the wrist early. Set the wrist early. And 3, acceleration, okay? There we go. See how nicely accelerated on that? The thing is if you start standing narrow and you start having a lot of movement, you hit further behind the ball. You hit, in other words, you hit it fat, or you hit too close to it because you've got too much movement. You got it, you see the whole idea of a bunker shot is to keep the torque, keep tight. Now, if you want to stop the ball, watch this now. Even though I'm going on a slight downslope, set up, the way you read sand is very important. There's more to read in a bunker than there is on any green. The ball lies low, you've been raked at a bad job, you're lying on a downslope, an upslope. I mean, the ball from here to there, if that's there, it's completely different to here. And if it's there, it's completely different to here. All the lies. Now, this one, you want it to stop a little quicker, so you set up sort of underneath the ball and sort of behind it. Watch this.
You know, are you on the upslope, are you level, or are you in the downslope? So obviously this ball here is on the upslope. What you want to do here basically is align your body and set your body with the slope angle. So certainly here, you know, you're going to be, your right leg is going to be a little bit straighter, your left leg is going to be bent a little bit more, so your body will be pitched very similar to the slope angle. What I try to do here is choke up on a little bit more, slope my body along the slope line, aim my body, I'm obviously hanging back a little bit more. Keep it nice and calm, quiet lower body. Swing up along the slope. Any questions?
Got to line the club face up 30 degrees right, in line with this line here. The feet are going to go 30 degrees left, okay? We swing along the line of the feet. Again, the club face is lined up to the right, feet is lined up to the left. Here's our original target line, so we're never squaring up to that line. It's always 30 degrees right, feet 30 degrees left. And one thing we want to remember, one of the keys to this is we want to allow ourselves to set the club face up first, then grip it. Don't grip it normally and lay it open. We've then effectively given it no more of a change. Again, club face right, feet left, and then what we want to do is swing along the line of our feet. So many amateurs do two things. One, they stand real square with the leading edge square and go into the ball with a digging force. What we want to do with this setup is it sets it up where now the bounce of the club can do the work. Feet left, club face right, set the club face up, then grip it, then swing along the line of your feet. Again, we don't want to take it inside and swing down the line. That effectively changes the use of the bounce. So again, club face right, feet left, swing along the line of our feet. The technique itself is everything. This shot itself lends itself with the largest room for error. Most people think, oh, they're just scared to death on this shot because they believe that there's no room for error in the bunker. I'm going to show you that it's exactly the opposite. Of all the shots we hit, we can make the worst swing at it if we set up correctly. Now again, here's where the ball is. I want to show you. I'm going to hit 3 different shots. One's going to start about, 5 or 6 inches behind it, one 3, and one about 1 inch. I'm going to show you every ball will come out using this technique because again, this bounce, this setup allows that ball to come out in spite of our less than perfect move. Here we go, feet left, club face right. I'm going to try to start it right about in here. Now I'm going to go about 3 inches behind the ball, show you that the character of the shot is floating and soft. Actually, for those that are more scared of hitting the ball, I sometimes recommend going 6, 7 inches behind it, but swing through it. If you accelerate the shot, and if you make sure you get your alignments, club face right, feet left, swing along the line of your feet, that ball's going to come out soft every single time.
All right, Keith, that's beautiful. That's a great pattern up there. Everybody would be happy with that out of the bunkers, but we all know that all bunker lies are not perfect. Now, I would like for you to show our viewers how do you take this simple technique, which is, I mean, you got to be able to understand that. How do you take that personally to some of the tougher shots? An uphill lie, pretty steep uphill lie over here, and then when your feet are way above the ball, like it almost rolled through the bunker, almost out, let's see those two.
Let's do it. Okay, what we've got here is the straight uphill lie. Now, this shot presents 2 different problems. One, generally for the amateur, is he's scared to death to get this ball out of the bunker. He's worried about the front lip, and that's his general concern. For the better player, his concern is getting the ball far enough because this shot, because of the uphill lie, it presents a real problem of hitting it far enough. So, first I'm going to address the problem of getting it out of the bunker. Just as with the other lie, the #1 problem amateurs have with getting it out of the bunker is that leading edge tends to dig. The reason it tends to dig on this is because they angle their body level to what is generally horizontal. What we want to do is try to address our body parallel to the slope. It's really critical. That way, again, the bounce that we've set up on our regular shot is applied to this shot. What I try to do, now second to that, that second problem is hitting it far enough. For every 10 to 15 degrees of uphill, I double my swing for distance. I don't try to complicate it by getting real close to the ball because that just presents more error. I go ahead, I aim 4 inches behind it. Again, I angle my body to the slope. Now I know I'm going to carry this lip. That fear is taken. That's gone. Secondly, now to make sure I carry it far enough, it's going to half the distance because of this angle. Now I'm going to double my speed. Just hit it twice as hard for this kind of shot. Again, I set up for the same kind of shot, 30 degrees and 30 degrees. The ball comes out perfect. So, again, what we want to do on this kind of shot, angle our body to the slope. Make sure we don't get this way where the leading edge is coming in again and digging, and then we're going to have a ball just stay in the bunker. Swing along the line of the slope and swing about twice as hard for every 15 to 20 degrees. Then you won't fear not getting the distance out of the shot. That's the uphill lie. Now, the real fun one. The one where you don't even think you can get to it. My feet are about, 10, 12 inches above the ball. I can barely get to it. What I always try to do, the whole